this is Jarrod Horak for the runawayhorse.com, and welcome to my Kentucky Derby 2022 points race video series. This is my 6th video in the series, and through the first 5 races, my top choices have a couple of victories. I'm going to be covering the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes from Churchill Downs in this race for Saturday, November 27th, 2021. And for 2021, there are going to be a few more points races that I will be covering in this series. The Remsen Stakes from Aqueduct on December 4th, the Springboard Mile from Remington Park on December 17th, the Los Alamitos Futurity from Los Alamitos Racecourse on December 18th, the Gun Runner Stakes from Fairgrounds on December 26th. And then in 2022, the video series will resume with the Smarty Jones Stakes from Oak Lawn Park on January 1st, and also the Jerome Stakes from Aqueduct that same day. Now let's get into the analysis of this race. Now before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this content. And then also go over to the runawayhorse.com if you are interested in reading my Oaks and Derby blogs and then looking at my videos as well. And you will find those on my Kentucky Derby 2022 page. Now we will get into the analysis of this race. It will be the 11th race from Churchill Downs, the Grade 2 $400,000 Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes for 2-year-olds, a mile and a 16th on the main track with a scheduled post time of 5:56 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a full field of 14 in here. Now, I'm not going to go through all the entrants in this race. I think the key to this race is going to be the pace, because if you go through the whole field, you will see, and looking at the pace figures and then looking at how the horses run, that there's just not a lot of front end speed in this race. So in a big bulky field like that, like this, if horses can get out there and stay out of trouble and the pace is controlled, they're going to have a big advantage. So, and that's going to be a lot of the key to my top 4 contenders in this race, because I think that they have the ability to stay out of trouble and get forwardly placed. I will, in order of preference, give out my top 4 selections in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, beginning with number 10, White Abarrio. This one, he's 8-1 morning line, and he's coming in from Gulfstream Park. His career debut, 6.5 furlongs on September 24th. From the inside post, he stalked from 4th. He went for the lead, then he took over, and then he widened, and he won by almost 7 lengths. Second time out, he went from 6.5 furlongs to 1 mile. In that optional claiming race from post 2 in a 5-horse field, he controlled the pace. The pace was slow, he controlled it, he won by 4 lengths. So it was a slow early, fast late race, and he earned a strong late pace rating as the strong favorite that day. So in the debut, the pace was quick. Then last time, the pace was slow. So I like how he could track a fast pace in the debut, and then he could control a slow pace last time. So he's got that early pressing versatility. He should be able to stay out of trouble from post 10, and in a race with not a lot of speed, he should be able to work out a decent trip from that outer post, probably stalking the pace. My third choice in here is number 6, Tiz the Bomb. Now he's one I'm not quite sure what he's going to do on the surface switch, even though he did break his maiden at 1 mile at Ellis Park in a race originally scheduled for the turf. It was run at 1 mile on the main track on July 2nd, and he got out there from the inside post in a 6-horse field, and he controlled the pace. The pace was slow and controlled, and he won by 14 lengths. Then they moved him to the turf. He won a stakes race at Kentucky Downs, and then at Keeneland, the Grade 2 Bourbon, he won that one. And then the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, he rallied from 11th place to finish 2nd. So he's been versatile. He went to the front in that dirt maiden win. He rallied from 6th at Kentucky Downs. He sat stalking the trip in the Bourbon from 4th, and then he rallied from 11th last time. So I like that versatility. He certainly has some class. He earned an improved speed rating in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. And Tiz the Bomb, a $330,000 purchase, is one on the surface switch that I think he has a shot. If they ever bet him though, I'm just not sure. I think he could be better on the turf course, and that's my main concern. My second choice in here is number 5, Howling Time for trainer Dale Romans. His career debut, 6 furlongs on the main track at Churchill Downs. He rallied from 6th place and 6 lengths back to win by a length and a half. Stretched out to the streets in the Street Scent Stakes, a mile and a 16th on October 31st. In that 7-horse field, the pace was slow. He was stalking the pace from 4th, only 2 lengths back. So I like that tactical speed that he's able to show in a slower pace, because I think that's what's going to happen in this race. And then he pulled clear, and he won by more than 3 lengths after he pounced on the leaders in the stretch. So I think the pace scenario could be similar from the street sense to this race, and I think he's going to be stalking the pace. He earned good speed ratings in both starts, and Howling Time is certainly a solid top 3 contender in here. But my top choice in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes is going to be number 1, Classic Causeway. He is 7-2 morning line, and I think he can control the pace from the inside post. That's exactly what he did in his 7 furlong debut at Saratoga from post 2 in an 8-horse field. He got right out there, controlled the pace, and he took over, and he just pulled clear in the stretch, and he won by 6.5 lengths. Earned an excellent speed rating there. Second time out at Keeneland at 1 1/16 in the Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity. In a 13-horse field, he drew post 13, and he had to go from that outside post. With his speed, they had to use him more than they would have liked to. So he just had to go, and he was hustled early, and he had to use up too much energy, and then when they got into the stretch, he was passed, and then he ended up finishing 3rd, beaten a little more than 4 lengths, but he held on to 3rd well. He was 1 1/4 lengths clear of the rest. I thought that was a solid effort. He was the favorite. Maybe he should not have been the favorite from out there in post 13, and the way that it played out, he had to use up too much early energy, and he didn't have enough left late to hold off the late runners. But in this race, I think he will. From the inside post, with a race that appears to not have a lot of pace on paper, if he can get out there, get the lead, and then slow things down in the middle and get a breather, I think that he's going to wire the field and go all the way in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. So Classic Causeway, my top choice in this race. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and that will wrap up this video. And again, I'll be back next week with more Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks points races for my videos. Until then, good luck at the races.